which provides assistance to local community members who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. It dedicates volunteers to prepare and serve nutritious cooked meals. So I'm sure that everyone, without a doubt, will dig deep tonight. There's raffles and there's an ATM. It's a night that Sun Slipper will definitely also contribute to, and I'll commit to matching whatever is done in the room tonight. So please, dig deep. There's a lot of charities that are out there that don't get the play, and this one in particular, and that's why I'm really excited to introduce you to Mike to tell you a little bit more about the work that they do. Thanks, Mike.
Blessed to be able to come up here and tell our story. We are a small charity. We have about 60 to 80 volunteers. We provide about 15,000 meals every year to people that either can't afford to eat, that live rough, elderly, that live in boarding houses, people that have nothing. Originally our charity was called Hunt for Homeless, and that's the name that you see up there, John Hunt. We changed the name from Hunt for Homeless because we had feedback that people were shooting people. And, that wasn't very funny, but anyway. So a bit of a background. John Hunt was a very successful solicitor in Brisbane who initially thought that people who were homeless were all to blame for their own issues. And so one day he had this twig in his head. So he left his practice and lived in a boarding house, and he walked around the streets and people that were homeless and spoke to them and realised there was more to it than what he'd actually thought. There was a lot of depression, people that went broke for no reason, lost their families, lost their loved ones, a myriad of different situations that they went through. And he came back after the 6 months that he spent doing that and started to think about what he could do. So he initially got involved with the 139 Club, which was initially in Queen Street for some reason, which is 159 Queen Street, moved to the Valley and started providing meals for homeless people. He took all that money out of his own pocket, and every weekend he would front up with his volunteers from his either legal practice or accounting practices, people that wanted to give something back to society. And that worked quite well. I met John in, was it 2006, and in 2007 he passed away. I'd run a little business and had time to give back, so I took over John's role, and we started Hunt for Homeless. We then changed the name a few years, 3 or 4 years ago, to Community Canteen, which sounds a lot better than Hunt for Homeless. I'll get off John now because he was a lovely man and he was so close to my heart, and I'm really sorry. He actually died. He got hit by a bus. He didn't die by that, but he died by 2 different medications coming together that weren't correct, and 2 doctors prescribed 2 different things, but anyway, go back to that. So right now what we do is that we have, as I said, 60 to 80 volunteers. We work with the Wesley Mission very closely. They have an emergency relief centre in the Fortitude Valley, and our volunteers go in on a Sunday for lunch, and we provide a really healthy, homemade meal. I take pride in what I cook. I'm Italian, and if I don't eat it, no one else eats it. We also do a Monday night barbecue dinner, and we, as I said, we feed about probably 250, 300 people every week. We don't receive any government assistance at all. My good friend and director over there that's sitting in there with a colourful black outfit is Christina Dillon, and with Sharon Houghton, who works for BDO, we run Community Canteen. As I said, we receive no government funding, so we go to shopping centres on our weekends and sit there and sell $2 raffle tickets to provide the food that we need to buy to feed our clients. I just want to express my story is that I was homeless once for many years. I lived on the streets. I lived in cricket pitch scoreboards in winter on a concrete floor. So I'm able to empathise with what our clients go through. We have old people, we have young people, we have all sorts of people. We don't discriminate, we're non-religious. We just go and we try and help them as much as we can. We really rely on, this is the first time we've ever had a situation like this where all you beautiful people are here. So we ask you to be generous tonight and help us to achieve our goals, which is we don't receive any benefits ourselves. All our 3 directors receive no remuneration. None of our volunteers receive any remuneration. We just get out there and do the best we can with what we've got. I just want to express where I come from. A beautiful man called Robin Williams once said, I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people happy because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless and they don't want anyone else to feel like that. And that's the way that I feel. So I just say thank you so much for being here tonight, and I really ask you to, if you can afford it, to really help us out and just help us keep going. Thank you so much.